welcome to my dining room. Today I'm going to set some eggs, okay? Um, Over the last few years, we've had chickens. The last time I used this incubator was in 2012, and I'll put a link just here for the video for that. But we built our own incubator with an automatic egg turner, and it holds 35 eggs. And today we're going to set eggs because some of our chickens are now getting to the point where I don't think they're going to last another year. Now, if we set eggs now, okay, they'll come into point of lay at around about July time, something like that, middle to end of July. So it's a perfect opportunity for us to get them in now. We can't get onto the plot because it's just tipping down all the time, so we are able to do this. Now I'm actually setting 35 eggs, and the reason for that is twofold. Firstly, 18 of these eggs have come from outside people from eBay. Now the post is notorious for making eggs infertile and what have you, because they hammered about and this, that and the other. So I'm not sure what the hatch rate will be from them because of that. The second reason is, again, they're from outside, so those 18 eggs, I don't even know if they're fertile at all. And the other 17 eggs have come from my own birds, okay? But again, I'm not sure if the cockerel have served the hens. He has been, but with the weather being so bad, I can't guarantee it. And the other thing is, I haven't penned them off, I've just left them all together, whereas normally you would segregate maybe 3 or 4 hens and the cockerel, so you know he is serving them. So that's going to obviously have an effect on the hatch rate firstly. It may be that only out of the 35, maybe only 15 will hatch. I don't know. If they all hatch, great, it's not a problem, because the next thing that we need to worry about then is the amount of cockerels and the amount of hens we have, because we only really want the hens. So we have to obviously make sure we're hatching enough to get the amount of hens we need. So what we're going to do now, we're going to have a quick look at the incubator before we set the eggs, and then we'll go on for that. This yellow towel here is actually sitting on top of an incubator, and this is one we've made ourselves. Now it is running, and it's been running for about 3 days just to ensure that the temperature works, and I'm going to take you through it stage by stage, okay? So and the idea is so that you can see exactly what's going on there. So the first thing you can see here is we have a glass pane that we can view things through. We have electronic controller in here, and this is what provides the heat, and I'll show you that in a bit closer detail in a moment. But as you can see, or I'm not sure if you can see actually, let me see if I can get you a bit closer. As you can see at the moment, the temperature is 37.1 degrees. Now for hatching eggs you need 37.5, but a point of a degree up and down is not an issue. As you can see here, look, you got our automatic egg timer actually moving, and I'll explain that to you in a moment, but and how that works. But there you go, you can see it actually kicked on now, look, and it's moved from one side of the tray to the other, where it will switch off, and that'll rotate the eggs halfway. But it kicked on while we were filming, so I just thought I'd show you it a bit quick. There you go, that's now switched off. Okay, so back to this controller. So at the moment the temperature's dropped by 0.4 of a degree, and that's why the towel is on top, because the pane of glass next to us here is not double insulated. So basically what happens here now is I control the temperature using these knobs here. This is a kit that came from Incubator Warehouse out in the States, and it does, you know, a lot of stuff. So it's keeping the temperature around about 55. Sorry, the humidity on 55, 58, something like that. I would have preferred it to be more like 50%, but it's not an issue if that's the case. Alright. But again, this is held up by a couple of screws. I'm going to set you back a bit so you can see. It used to be just taped up, but now we've had to put a couple of screws through to hold it up because for some reason the tape keeps dropping down. It's not very good tape. And we've just covered the edge of the screws over, and that holds that up. Here you'll see we've also got another window in the side so we can see what's going on there, and across here is where the tray slides. I'm going to open it up now and I'm going to show you exactly what goes on inside. In here is a little circuit board, and that controller runs this circuit board. Okay, these white blocks here are actually heat blocks, and what they do is they emit heat and the fan then blows it down and circulates it around the incubator. Okay, this doesn't work like a lot of homemade incubators. They work off light bulbs and things like that, and I think doing that is a little bit weird because when an egg is underneath a hen, it's pitch black, so so all they have is heat and darkness. They still get light because of the windows, but having a really bright sort of 100-watt bulb to produce heat is not good. Okay, so as you can see now, the tray is stopped at the end. Now, underneath that tray you'll see a lot of slats. Okay, and all that is a piece of 2x1 batten, and it's been built into a frame, and then pieces of plyboard have been cut into strips and they've been stapled along that to create like a sieve effect or a slot effect. Underneath that, I don't know if you can quite make it out there, you can see a silver colour, and that's 4 takeaway trays, and they're wedged in between the actual framework underneath, and that's what holds the water, which creates humidity. That humidity rises up then through the slots then to keep the eggs humid so that they don't dry out. Okay, then I built the tray again by 2x1 sort of slat timbers and some doweling, and I just marked where I wanted the holes and drilled them, and that is what will roll the eggs. Okay, now I'm going to just move you across a second so you can see. Okay, this next stage, the motor. As you can see here, there's a piece of timber that I routed out a little slot, and through that I have a nut and bolt here which will actually move the tray. I built a bracket here that holds a clock motor. Now this is a 1 RPM per minute, so 1 revolution per minute motor. If you can get a half a revolution per minute, then that would be fantastic, because then it would, when it kicks on, you could just use it on a normal timer then, and put it on sort of once every few hours for it to move a half a revolution. But because this is a 1 revolution, if I was to just leave it, it would move the tray here and then back again, because it does a complete revolution. To make the actual movement, we built a cam here, and that's what rotates this tray, and that's been designed for this tray to be perfect, to hit this wall when it kicks on and what have you. This little box here, it's got a flashing red LED, is a control circuit that I had built specifically for this job, and I had an electronics company build it for me. I gave them the specifications I wanted, and what that does, it controls the on and off functions of the motor, because if I didn't have that, then the tray would just go back and forth and possibly just return back to where it was. So although it rolled the eggs, it'd either be constantly rolling or do a full revolution, so that the egg wouldn't move its actual location. What this does, it kicks on once every hour, and it just moves that tray. It clicks on for long enough, so for 30 seconds, which will move that tray to the other side of the compartment. So rather than doing, because the motor only does 1 revolution per minute, it'll only do a half a revolution because the power is seized at that point. And that's what that little box does. We've had some really good success rates with this. Last time, the last few times we've used it, we've had 100% hatch rate. But bear in mind, guys, last time we used this, we were putting all of our own eggs in, and we knew that the cockerel had served the hens. So as you can see here, we've got 35 eggs, okay, and these are the eggs that are going to be going in. Now they've all been marked, and this one, for example, has been marked. I don't know if you can see this. Let me see if I can focus it on you. With a BS, okay, and that BS stands for Buff Sussex. And on the other side, you'll see a little black dot, okay, and I'll explain that in a moment. To do that, let me see if I can get these to function again. To do that, we use a China graph pencil, okay, and it's just a little waxy pencil that you can write on glass and things like that, and we'll be utilizing this a bit later on as well. So all the eggs, again, little black dot, and this one's got LX on it, okay. These ones are cream leg bar, so it's got CL. Whoops, sorry. These ones are cream leg bars, so it's got CL, and again the dot. And we've got various different eggs here. These white ones are from our Leghorns, and they're from our stock. These ones are from Warrens, and they're from our stock. These are cream leg bar from our stock, and these are a Leghorn cross. And it was a cross that we did to actually produce this sort of olive colour egg, okay. These lighter ones are all of the 18 eggs that we had brought in, okay. These ones are blue laced Wyandottes, these ones here, okay, and they're blue laced Wyandottes, and so we've got 6 of those. We have 6 Rhode Island Reds, okay, and we have 6 Buff Sussex. So 35 eggs in all. What we're going to do now, we're going to actually load up the incubator with them. Now obviously we've lost all the heat and what have you out of this, but it won't take long to pick back up. Now the first thing we're going to do, the first thing you'll notice with this tray in here, okay, is that not all of the dowel holes are identical, and this was done on a purpose because, as you can see guys, eggs aren't identical. You know, they're different sizes. So we've got slots for bigger eggs and slots for smaller eggs, okay. So let me just check that you can see what's going on. Yeah, okay. So last thing we want is all the same slots. Won't be able to get the big eggs in. So we're going to place these eggs now in, and to start them off, I'm going to put them with the spot facing up. That way then I always got a point of reference to know that they're rolling correctly, okay. And then it's literally just a case of placing them end to end in the incubator, spot facing up, and it will take 5 eggs per tray. Here we go, just like that. So just make sure the spots are facing up on them all. And the movement of this tray is such that it doesn't matter, you know, it's really gentle on the eggs, so you haven't got to worry about them. Like I said, all these eggs have been named. Even when they hatch, you won't notice so much what they are, but they've all been named for specific reasons. And there will be a bit of jostling when it rolls, but nothing that they wouldn't go, you know, they wouldn't take underneath a hen, you know. Just got to be careful placing them in. Now, even though this is a 35 egg incubator, it would hold 40 if I had some smaller ones that I could fit under this bar here. I'd have to cut this nut down or lift it right out. But I could place it in, you know, some under there as well, some really small eggs, because they wouldn't be touching this bar. But I never ever use it. I don't see the point. So, put these Rhode Island ones in now. And the reason I've actually written on all of the eggs what they are is because if for any reason they're not fertile, which we will check in 10 days time with a candle, okay, we've got a special light called an egg candler, and we'll check to see if there's any veins or anything like that sort of starting to form. And if they're not fertile, I'll contact the seller, and maybe they will send us a replacement batch at a later stage or something. But they've all been marked, as you can see. And incidentally, keeping these like this, ideally you want eggs that are not any older than 10 days, okay? And what you must do is tilt the egg tray. So for the last couple of days while I've been waiting for these to come, I've been tilting this egg tray like this back and forth so that the actual yolks don't stick. So we know that these eggs are in the best possible state they can be when they've gone into the incubator. I'm one egg short. Bear me a second while I go and get another egg, guys, because I'm one short here. It means, how many have I got in there? 3, 5, 3, 5, 3, 5. Yeah, I'm one egg short for some reason. So what it means is I can actually go and get another one of these cream leg bars. Okay, so we got another cream leg bar, and I've just marked him up. There we have it, guys. There's 35 eggs in there. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35 eggs. They're all laid out. Now, what I will do with the thermometer, I'll place it just on there like that, because if it's on the eggs, it will actually stop the eggs rolling. But I also have, I use this as a just a backup to the unit that's up here, okay? So it's only there just in case that goes faulty for any reason. I've got another backup here that tells me exactly what I'm looking at. All right. At the moment, it's currently 25.8 in there. All right. So I don't know why it's showing it backwards to you, but I don't know what's going on there. So anyway, so that's that. Okay. So we're all set now. I'm going to stick that in there, and we literally now, this here is a probe, and this will sit just basically on top of the eggs there, and that will be what controls the actual humidity and everything for us. So we're now going to close it up. The temperature now, as you can see, I don't know if you can actually, it's dropped to 21.4. Let's just see if I can get you in there. Here we are. We're now at 21.9 degrees, okay? And if you notice now, the HTR, what that's saying is 100%. HTR stands for the power, okay? So now it's using 100% of the actual output of the heater there, so that it can get the heat back up as soon as possible. We've now closed this, and what it's going to do now is going to stay at 100%, and it's going to get it back up to 37.5 degrees. When it's at 37.5 degrees, what it will do then, it will step the power right down, and it might only be about 10% or something, just to keep that at 37.5 degrees. There we go, guys, look. So this is the side window now. Okay, so here we have the bottom tray where the water is underneath the slats, and this is the top tray that actually moves back and forth, and there you can see the eggs all nestled quite nicely. The temperature is climbing quite fast. It's now at 22.5. Once I put that blanket back on top, all that does is helps keep the heat in. But essentially that's it now. What we do need to do now here is just right on here, Okay, so all we need to do now is get this China graph and write on here the date, which is the 7th of the 1st, 16. Okay, and we need to put the time, which is 12:50. Okay, so that's the beauty of having a China graph pencil. So I know exactly the date and time these eggs were set. And that's it. So I just leave them to it now. Every hour, those eggs will roll over to the other side now. So they'll go this way across to this side of the incubator. And then an hour later, they'll move back. And so that's us setting eggs in our homemade incubator. And guys, if you're going to build an incubator, don't use a light bulb. It's very hard to control the temperatures. Get a proper unit that is designed to do it. Like I said, this will now build that heat back up. I'm going to get it covered over so we can do it as quick as possible. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this this little episode. It just shows, you know, how we go about hatching our eggs. There will be another video following this now, only a shorter one, which will show the candling of the eggs to see. I'm hoping it will actually show the actual veining within the egg so that you can see that. And we'll do that now in 10 days time. So on the 17th, I'm going to mark that now, candle eggs on the 17th on the actual incubator underneath where we just wrote the date and time. And these eggs then should be hatched out then in 21 days time, give or take a few hours, or you know, possibly a day, depending on if there are any complications, you know, going through. Humidity, you want to keep up the humidity in the incubator to around about 50%, okay, and that's for the whole of the duration, apart from the last 3 days, where you want to raise it to around about 70 to 80%, okay. That just aids the chicks from to hatch out and what have you, so that the skin within the egg, or the membrane I should say, within the egg doesn't become too tough for them to actually break out. So at day 18 we will open the incubator. We will place more water in the incubator into a 5th tray that is there, that's empty at the moment, and that putting water in that 5th tray will raise it up to 80%. I just want to thank you for viewing and everything else, and don't forget to check out all these videos to the left hand side of us here, because we've got loads and loads and loads of videos here. Everything has been placed into playlists for you to make it easier, so if you want a specific type of thing, we've got loads of stuff coming on. As soon as it stops raining here, I'll be able to get on with that. I can't do anything in the rain. We've got a new polytunnel series coming up where we've got to move the big polytunnel. There's just tons of stuff going on. Don't forget to come across to the Facebook groups and all the other networks. Okay, all the links are in the description below. Okay, but more importantly, guys, more important than anything else, don't forget to press this subscribe button just below for all these updates, because if you don't press this subscribe button, you're not going to know that we've put the video up. And come and join the other 4,000 odd members that you know, are spending time getting to know us and everything else. Press the subscribe button and join the community. Anyway guys, that's it from me. I hope you've enjoyed today, and I'll see you in the next one.